drive ahead of us. Quick to show you, there's these signs all over the place. Basically, keep out, no trespassing, military bombing range. First artifact here, you know what this is. See a shell casing, 22 caliber. Obviously by yourself, I don't want to have any mechanical issues. So this right here is a textbook case of what an agave burn pit looks like. Got some artifacts here, and this just looks like some sort of a trough. Oh my gosh, there's something here. Do you see it? Looks like somebody may have built a house here. And here, my friends, is the spring. There's a game cam right there. Saturday, April 5th, 2024, heading up Highway 93 just outside of Las Vegas. It's a crisp spring day, a little bit breezy, 56 degrees. 8:15 in the morning, we're heading out on the long range hike. Off to your right there is the Sheep Range Mountains. That's where we're going. But we're going much farther than we usually do. We're going about 30 miles north of where we start out at, and this will be a long range hike. So let's continue on to the air down point. I don't want to waste time with an intro. By the sign, we've got a long drive ahead of us. So we're going to keep on going to the air down point, let some air out of the tires, and continue forward. That's good places anyway. Pull in here, let some air out of the tires, and continue on. All right, 22, 24 all the way around. I usually like to go lower, but I think that's enough for right now. And like I said, always in case the air compressor craps out, I want to have enough air in there to kind of limp back, and it has crapped out before. So just trying to be prepared for anything. So without further ado, if you're ready, let's hit the road. We got about 35 miles. Let's do this. Looks like we got someone walking their dog here. I don't usually see people walking. It's kind of a long way, so they must have done a hike up alongside the road, which isn't always smart because you got people coming up and down. But for whatever reason, we'll just kind of go slow until we pass this person, and once we pass him, we'll hit the gas and go. Approach another camper up here. I do try to slow down as I pass these RVs and whatnot on the side of the road, people camping. The truck just threw up a lot of dust on this gravel road, so it's kind of as a courtesy slow down and pass them. Looks like they got some solar panels out for power. Just a little travel trailer camping here off the side of the road, which is permitted, perfectly legal. A little chilly to camp, but I guess it's not too bad. 55 degrees on the temp. Definitely more of a plush ride after letting air out of the tires. Softer ride, better on the suspension and the tires and rims itself too. Some people may debate that, but that's what most of the people I know do, is let air out of the tires. That's what we do on these roads. We do have to try to maintain kind of a brisk pace. Looks like we got a camper up here, a motorcycle camper, a tent covered this motorcycle with a tarp. Passing Cow Camp Road. That is the way to Picture Canyon out there. We're not going to Picture Canyon, we're going much further. So where we're going is about 20 miles north of Picture Canyon. Kenny Veach said he would continue on past Picture Canyon, and if he went out someplace, he would go where he would never be found. That's precisely where we're going today. It is pretty remote. Let's jump on the gas and get out there. This northern part of Alamo Road at the Desert National Wildlife Refuge, running the edge of the military area. So this mountain range off to the left here, pretty much on the other side of that mountain range is kind of like an open area, valley. That is the military area. That's the forbidden zone. So it is not on outside the realm of possibility to see military aircraft flying around here. So we'll just keep our eyes open. It is possible to see drones. That's a big drone base out there, Creech Air Force Base. We're not going to be going in the military area. Where we're going is off to the right up here and up into the mountains. All right, way out there in that valley, just past this first mountain range. See that second mountain range way off in the distance? Between this first close mountain range and that second mountain range off in the distance is the military area. There's a, I believe, a mock-up city out there. There may be some bombing areas. Definitely not unheard of to see military aircraft, especially drones, since that's near Creech Air Force Base. And if you were to follow that valley north, I don't know, maybe 30 miles or so, that would lead you to Area 51. All right, coming out of the pass, we're approaching the dry lake bed valley out there, and I think this is our destination right here, I believe. Cabin Springs Road, supposedly. Okay, controlled area. Just want to stop real quick and show you there's these signs all over the place. Basically, keep out, no trespassing, military bombing range, and that's there. That's those far between the far mountains and these close mountain ranges, the military kind of gunnery area. So we'll stay out of there, and we'll keep on going on our journey. To the left is Alamo Road. This one right here is kind of the first turnoff we had to take, and this should lead us to Cabin Springs, where we're going. Just investigating turnout up here. I did see this little campfire. I want to see if anybody left anything out here, anything notable. I don't see anything, just this campfire that was built. So clearly somebody camped out here overlooking this dry lake, which is kind of a cool place to camp because you can see the entire valley out there. Like I said before, out there is the military area. Alamo Road kind of goes that way. Where we're going is back towards the mountains. So let's keep on going and get to our destination. All right, looking ahead, I can see the road going deep in the mountains, which is good that there's a definable road out there. That's where we need to go, in the mountains towards Cabin Springs. So we'll keep on going. I've never been out here before. I have no idea what to find, what to see, or what condition the road is in. So you never know on these expeditions. You got to be careful. Already bottomed out once on this road, so I'm just trying to take it easy and get to the destination up there. All right, I did spot something off the road, so we're gonna go check it out really quick. Appears to be some sort of animal corral. So I just want to see if there's any other signs of life out here, see how old it is and what the deal is. Where we need to go, I could see Cabin Springs Road this way. So we'll get to this spur up there and check the GPS map, and I'm pretty sure we go around this way, then I see the road going into the mountains, which is good. The road may go all the way to the spring, to our destination, which is good, and our hike will be minimal. There is a valley out there I want to check out, so we will do some hiking. But for the most part, that's where we need to go. Cabin Springs. Why would they call it Cabin Springs unless there's a cabin out there? All right. First artifact here, you know what this is. Just like old granddad used to drink, you pull the tab off, and that's how you open up the can. Kind of nice little historical souvenir. Just looking around, and this is probably going to be a really old animal corral. These looks like just pieces of branches here as the posts. That's how they did it back in the day. Looking around for anything unusual, artifacts, footprints, anything else. I don't see anything so far. Some bricks. Campfire. Now, I do have a metal detector that I acquired, and they're not really permitted out here. But if I was inclined to bring one, I would say that it's probably pointless to do so because there's so many nails. So you can see nails and pieces of metal out here. A lot of false alerts, so it's really not that advantageous to bring one. Now, it's notable that over there, it's probably the original animal corral with those wooden, I guess, tree branches as the posts. Here you've got some modern posts here, a fence post, metal fence post. So it looks like at one point in time, the animal corral was expanded. I'm not sure what time period it was. Hard to say. Just looking around, I'm not really seeing anything. It's dead silent out here. All right, some sort of a long metal bar. It's extremely heavy. Threaded on each end. Not sure what that's for. See a shell casing, 22 caliber. Desert National Wildlife Refuge, which I believe this still is. No shooting is permitted out here, not even, no target shooting. You can bring firearms, you can carry firearms, no problem. You just can't shoot them. And I believe there is limited capacity for hunts out here, but nothing with a 22. All right, well, I'm not seeing anything else. It does look like some semblance of a road leading to this animal corral, so I don't know, maybe in the 70s they expanded it. I'm not sure why. But just looking around, aside from the little pieces of cans and that pull tab, I'm not seeing anything. It's not that windy, and I'm going to take off this Polypro and just use my regular shirt top that I usually hike in, because I think the weather is pretty much ideal for hiking today. Okay, that's it. See for miles out there. let's head back to the truck and continue on. Like I said, looks like that's Cabot Springs Road there, that spur, and I can see it going further into the mountains. If it goes all the way towards the spring, then we won't have to hike long. We just have to explore that valley out there, but it's going to be up in those mountains somewhere, so I'm not sure how far we can go on this road. Some of these roads look like roads, but they're actually washes and extremely difficult to navigate, so we'll just have to find out when we get there. Just taking it easy, doing about 15 miles an hour up this road. I don't want to run over a sharp rock and get a flat out here. I've got a patch kit, repair kit, air compressor, and the factory spare tire. I did not bring my full-size spare on this. I should have, but I didn't. So I'm just kind of limping along here, just taking it easy, trying to get where we're going up into those mountains up there. Got a rabbit hiding over there. I think he maybe went in his hole. I'm gonna just go check him out really quick. Yeah, he went inside here. See if we can see him. Nope. Anyway, we're in this wash here. Put in a 4 high just as a precaution. And these washes are unpredictable. Was a road at one time, but once water flows out here, maybe once a year, it can wash the road out. So we're just trying to be careful. We're obviously by ourselves, and I don't want to have any mechanical issues. So I'm just limping along as carefully as I can. Let's get back in and continue our journey. Now, for those of you saying I don't need 4-wheel drive for this road, you're probably right. I just put in 4 high as precaution. But also I heard that it's a good practice for the truck to put in a 4-wheel drive a few times a year and drive several miles just to make sure everything is lubricated and nothing freezes up eventually. You don't use a gear, it can seize up. So obviously most of the time this truck is in 2-wheel drive, so it's a good practice to in case you put in a 4-wheel drive. All right. First point I have marked in the map, and the good news is it does look like we can drive all the way or most of the way to the spring up there. It's somewhere in this valley. This valley is what we're going to be investigating today. If Kenny Veach did continue on, he was about 20 miles that way, and if he, like I said, if he continued north, a valley like this is someplace he could have possibly ended up. There's a spring out there, it's called Cabin Springs, and why would they call it Cabin Springs if there's not a cabin out there? So who knows. I did see what looked like kind of a square object. I'm not sure what it is, could be a guzzler or something, but what I have marked out here is a possible agave burn pit. So I'm gonna head out here and see if we can hike out here a little bit and find it. There's some rocks out here and some clearing, so it might or may not be a burn pit. We'll check it out. Didn't even bother to lock the truck. There's nobody out here for miles from what I could see, so we're probably going to be fine. But we're just going to come across the open desert. It should be straight out there, just a little bit before the drop starts, I guess. So we'll come out here and see what we can find. We are extremely remote. This is about 2.5 hours from the visitor center, so it was a very long drive, much longer than normal. And I should have gotten an earlier start, but I didn't. It is what it is. So, you know, you work all week and you're tired. You just really don't want to get up super early at the crack of dawn, especially when you're not sure what you have and what's in store for you for the day. So, I suspected that we'd be able to drive most of the way out here, and it wouldn't be a super long hike. And so far, that appears to be the case. A little chilly, maybe too chilly for snakes, but you never know, so you just want to be careful where you're stepping out here. All right, more than likely what I saw was part of a wash, but you know, like I said, it looked like it might have been a burn pit, agave burn pit. So check the GPS, see where I have this thing marked, somewhere out here. Still got a ways to walk, so that's fine. Got all day. There are some flat areas over there, more likely caused by running water. I don't hear anything. I'm just real cognizant to see if there's anybody else out here. I don't want to Anybody you run into out here more than likely is going to be a fellow adventurer, fully equipped for adventure, but on the off chance it's somebody with ill intentions. That's why we come out here armed, just in case. And to be honest, I've never been out here and needed a weapon, or even come close to needing a weapon. But I will certainly never come out here without one, because you just never know. Not only is there little or no cell service out here, if you were to call somebody, like I said, it took me 2.5 hours to get here from the visitor center. So say nearest law enforcement it's a park ranger at the visitor center, and you somehow did get a hold of them, that's 2.5 hours till they get here. So whatever happens, you're on your own. You really need to be prepared for anything out here. So I try. Food, water, firearm, knife, first aid, emergency blanket for cold, just in case. And of course, boots, gear, gloves, everything, just to be prepared. Alright, coming across the open desert here. I'll check GPS in just a moment. These agave burn pits were used by Native Americans to burn agave hearts. I mentioned in many of my videos before. So if I come across one, it's a little interesting. And in theory, there could be some signs of human civilization nearby. Nothing more than a big clearing in the ground. Just looking at these hills. We're at a higher elevation, so I do see a lot more greenery. I can't see any caves or anything, but like I said, that road should go up in there to the spring, and that valley is what we're going to investigate today. Do I think we'll find Kenny Veach in there? No. But you never know, we may find some evidence. My theory is, if he is to be found, he'll probably be close to the mine somewhere, but you just never know. Anything is possible. Even out here, we are extremely remote today. Just watching where we step. Cactuses, cholla cactuses. Those things are bad news. Seeing a lot of washes here, so what I saw could have been part of a wash instead of an actual agave burn pit, but I've got a pin marked, so I at least want to get to that point and see. Just check GPS again. Based on my calculation, should be right up here somewhere. Looking for kind of just a big open area, kind of circular area. Whitest rocks. And the Native Americans used to roast agave hearts. And again, it's something I saw on Google Earth. It could be this right here, this bunch of rocks, but I'm going to go on this ridge line over here just to see. So far, nothing. Because Native Americans were roasting agave out here. Oh, there is an agave. There it is. It sure as hell is an agave burn pit. If Native Americans were roasting agave out here, that means they lived out here. And if they lived out here, there should be some evidence of civilization. So this right here is a textbook case of what an agave burn pit looks like. I'll hold the camera up a little bit high. It looks like a crater, white rocks, the hole in the middle, and they'll put a big fire there and roast agave hearts. This one appears to have withstood the test of time. But yeah, this is it. Right down there. It's where they have that big rip roaring fire roasting their agave hearts. It means they probably live nearby. Now these agave burn pits are all over the mountains, all over the Sheep Ranger Mountains. So they're very, very common. And that means Native Americans used to live all through these mountains. So there's a spring up there, agave burn pit here. I don't know how they live, but I mean, I guess maybe if they had teepees or structures, they'd be long gone. If they lived in caves, we may get lucky and see a cave out there. But this right here is the first sign that somebody was out here. And these are extremely old. And it's surprising because they withstood the test of time, and most of these rocks are white. That's your telltale sign that it's an agave burn pit. It's just a big circular pit of white rocks in which a fire was built in the middle. And this is a fairly large one. All right, mission accomplished. Let's hike back to the truck and continue on into that valley and see what's in there. All right, so I did buy some new gear. This military kind of shirt that I wear is getting worn out. I do have a brand new one I have not used yet, still in the bag. And these 511 pants that I love, they work really great for out here. I do have a brand new set of those. Have not worn those yet. I did replace my Camelback bladder. The one I had was just worn out and it leaked, and it just needed to be replaced. So I do have a brand new Camelback bladder that does not appear to be leaking, so I'm good there. Okay, back to the truck, ready to continue on. You may notice I took my full pack with me. If I become mobilized out there, even though it's just a quarter mile away, I want to make sure I got my full gear with me. Let's continue on, see what's in this valley. All right, making progress. The road's narrowing, getting rough. There's another agave burn pit right here. I'm not going to stop and investigate. You know what they are. But these two burn pits just show me there was ancient civilization in the area at one point in time. I'm going to keep going up this road as far as I can, and until I can't go anymore, and then from there we'll get on foot. So we're almost there. I recognize the terrain from Google Earth, and we'll keep on going. Certainly looks like the end of the road. It's kind of a gravelly area, and then it just stops here, and it may or may not continue on there. Got some artifacts here. This is a huge piece of wood. I don't know why someone brought this block of wood out here. Another piece of wood. Looks like the road may or may not have continued on at one point in time. So we will follow this. The spring, I believe, is up there as well. I think I saw what looked like it could be an object out there. I'm not sure. Well, we're going to be doing a good thorough recon of this entire valley area, which is going to require some hiking. I've got the truck staged right there, so turning around shouldn't be an issue. That's why I want to park here where I do have a spot to turn around. I saw some pieces of metal or something in there I want to go check out. But first, let's put on our pack and prepare for the hike. This is where we go on foot. All right, looking around, a few artifacts. There's a metal pole in there, so I'll probably go up this ways a little bit. Looking around, I see some cans, a can lid. People have clearly camped out here, and up in there is the spring. So right now what we're gonna do is just do a quick gear check. You guys always ask what I have in my pack anyway. This pack on the front's first aid. In here I've got snacks, Chex Mix, beef stroganoff. I've got some water. The orange bag is binoculars, survival kit, tourniquet, survival blanket, night sun flashlight. This is a selfie stick. It's a long 6-foot selfie stick. One of our viewers sent this out. Thank you very much for sending this. You know who you are. Keep this with me at all times in case there's ever a situation that we use it. All right, outside compartment, I've got toothbrush because dental hygiene is important. Chapstick. I do have an extra battery. This would charge the cell phone twice if needed. Gloves, CRKT, eating tool, alcohol wipes, and more gloves and stuff. This compartment here, I have a little tool bag and also the water. Over here is the Garmin satellite communicator, and in here is I won't open it, but it's a Streamlight flashlight in addition to my night sun flashlight. That's what I have in my pack. So let's put it all back, put it on, and get started. All right, I do have one other piece of gear, but it's brand new. These are sunglasses, Oakley Maritime Polarized Prism. I usually wear the Gator Raptor sunglasses, which I really like a lot. But these Oakleys, they're a little bit, I guess, bigger than the Raptors, but the lens is much, much clearer. The difference between like 780p and 1080p clear. They really work very well. So I really like these a lot, and I'll continue wearing them out here. They're designed for maritime environments, special operations glasses, but for out here they work good. Here, let's check out this metal pole and see what it is, see if there's anything else notable out here. Okay, just some sort of a metal pole. Another metal pole up there. Just glancing up there, I'm not really seeing anything. It's hard to tell though. Once we find the spring, I'll probably take a walk up there and just get our bearing and see what we could see, get a good view of the whole valley. But okay, start the clock. It's probably not going to be a long hike. We just need to check some things out here. And straight that way I saw what it could be. Man-made object. Looked like a square thing. Could be a rock, I'm not sure. This looks like it was a road at once, and I'm guessing it leads to the spring, which we'll check out later. But first I want to see if that is an object out there. In case you're wondering, this is extremely remote. Said before, it took me about two and a half hours to get here from the visitor center. So it's a long drive. I barely have 1 bar signal. If I climb up on one of these hills, I might be able to get more. Hard to say. But if anything happens out here, I want to make sure we're fully prepared. I'm pretty sure I locked the truck, which isn't really a big deal since nobody else is out here at the time. When I hike cross country, I try to avoid going through thick brush because you never know if there's snakes or other critters inside there that bite. So I try to hike through these open areas like this. And just beyond that tree somewhere is either a large rock or some sort of an object that I saw on Google Earth. That's it. What do you think? Yes, it's something or no? Also, my boot, I feel like a thorn or something maybe in the upper calf part, so I may have to pull off the boot and clean it out and make sure there's nothing in there. It actually kind of hurts a lot. I don't see anything. I probably have to pull it off. Just feeling, I don't know. Yeah, right about there. Can't really tell. All right. Sometimes it's a piece of debris and you readjust your boot and it feels fine. So I'm not really sure. So what we're looking out here for is any sign of civilization. If Kenny Veach did come out here, a backpack, a shelter, a piece of trash, something, some evidence to tie him into possibly being here. So far I'm not seeing anything. Nothing. As always, these expeditions are as much yours as mine. So if you see something that I don't, please mention in the comments, call it out, and let me know. Oh. So far, I'm not seeing anything. Let me double check GPS. Whatever it is, if it's something, it's right up here at the base of the hill. Maybe a rock. Google Earth anomaly, it turns out to be nothing. Could be a cabin. Sometimes you don't know till you're right on them. Seen some of our other videos, it's like that. So far I'm not seeing anything. Just trying to watch my step and not trip. Okay. Should be right here. Let me double check the map. You get on Google Earth, everything's flat or it's kind of hard to tell the depth. But if there is something, it's up here on this hill. At least that's where I dropped the pin. And for those of you who say any walking sticks or two hands, most of my climbing muscles come from my legs, so I'm actually okay. I just prefer not to use hiking poles like a lot of people do. So far I'm not seeing anything. Looks like some sort of a trail here, but it could be an animal trail. All right. I think this is where I saw it. Let me double check the map. Whatever I saw on Google Earth is right around here. I don't see anything. I do have a better view of the valley. Up there, looks like it curves around to the left, and that's probably where the spring is. So that's where we're gonna go. Maybe another agave pit over there, looks like. And that one we came in. So there is some evidence it was ancient civilization out here, and there's a water source. So it's not surprising. But they call this Cabin Springs. I always just thought there might be a cabin out here somewhere. It's hard to tell. I may climb up this hill and get the top of these cliffs over here. You can see right there, somewhere around there. Can't really tell in the viewfinder. Just to get a good vantage point of the whole valley. I may try to do that, so we'll see. It looks like a fairly easy climb up there. But I do want to at least get to the spring first and see what's up there. Because last time we went to a spring blindly, thinking we would find nothing but a spring, we found a cabin. Alright, just looking around. It's a great place for a cabin or camp on this little plateau here, but I'm not seeing anything, no evidence of people or anything. Some of these expeditions, you get skunked, you don't find a dang thing. And this one is so remote, it's hard to say if anybody's ever even been out here. Other than the Native Americans and their agave burn pits. So far I'm not seeing any evidence. You see the truck out there. I'm just not seeing any evidence of anything out here. One of our last videos, Secret Cabin found. Check it out if you haven't already. Before we got to the cabin, we started seeing artifacts in a little wash like this. You know, cans, pieces of metal, things like that. So I knew they were being washed down from something, and there was some sort of a settlement up there, and indeed there was. Just looking around, looks like a good place for caves, but I don't really see any caves. A lot of trees because we're at a higher elevation. Well, I don't see anything here, so we'll probably head down into the valley to the main where was a road or something, and head on around to where the spring should be. All right, the pin that I have for this supposed object out here was sitting directly on top of it, so clearly it's not an object. It may be this rock overhang that looked like an object. It may be this just kind of flat area here, but clearly there's no object here. 5,600 feet, some weird things. My watch keeps stopping here. It's like time is stopping on this watch. I don't know why. I had to restart it a couple times. Just a little strangeness, so I'm not sure. You know that some parts of the sheep range we have experienced anomalies. Strange sensor for boating. That was in the Mysterious Cross video. That was about, I don't know, I'm guessing 5 to 10 miles south of here. That's strange for boating in the Mysterious Cross video. And the Kenny Veach mine, of course, is about 20 or some odd miles as the crow flies south of here. So it's kind of a stretch for Kenny to be up here, but if he did a 2-day trek, he could absolutely be here in 2 days. And he was known to do multi-day treks, so you never know. Can't rule anything out. So far, Kenny has not been found. No evidence of him has been confirmed. And to the best of anyone's knowledge, he's probably still out here somewhere missing. Back down in the valley, the truck over there, making our way to this old road up here, and I happen not to drive on it. I don't know the condition of it. Somebody put that piece of wood there, and It looks like a good turnaround spot here, so that's where I parked. And I know from there, the actual spring isn't that far. So we should easily be able to hike to it, no reason to drive that far. Okay. Now I do have my remote mics that I brought. Left them in the truck, didn't even put them on here, believe it or not. We're just using the GoPro mic, which usually works fine, and you may hear some wind feedback, but we'll just use the GoPro mic for right now. So here's something. This may actually be the spring, or part of it. There was a tube or a pipe there, and this looks like some sort of a trough. May have been spring filled, probably was, but it is not now. So I don't think this is the spring itself. I think it's farther up there. I'll have to double check the GPS because I have a pin on it. But here's some more pipe right there. So, like I said, the road ends there. And it's not well traveled, but it is traveled. This one we're standing on right now is an ancient road. And I'm guessing it leads directly to the spring, so that's where we're gonna go. And beyond. We'll see what's out here. So I'm guessing if we were to follow this pipe, which is semi-buried, pipe or hose, whatever it is, that would lead us to the spring. And it's probably surrounded by plant life that is living on the abundance of water there. But some of these springs are seasonal or dry, so it could be dry too, you never know. Got to keep our eyes peeled because the last time we were looking for spring in that secret cabin video, we almost didn't see it. The cabin was hidden up against the side of a hill. So we'll keep our eyes open. You keep your eyes open too. It's high elevation, but you may hear me breathing a little heavier than normal. I'm probably slightly out of shape. I did do my workouts all last week, but before that, I was in the Far East for 2 weeks. Went to Korea, Taiwan, Thailand, and the Philippines. It was absolutely amazing adventure. So I'm glad to be back here in the desert, the high desert outside Las Vegas, just south of Area 51, doing what I do best. Because this, ladies and gentlemen, is where I live, out here. It's kind of hard to tell. So we're on what I thought was a road, but clearly the road's not going up there. It looks like it might come this way. And if you want to find old artifacts and stuff, that's what you've got to do, just follow these old roads, or it looks like might be old roads. Yeah, kind of a flat area here. I'm not seeing anything so far. Keep going. Look for signs of life out here. This big black beetle. I do show the spring is a little bit further up here, so we'll keep going. This is either an agave burn pit, a prospect pit, or an old mine. My guess, well, it's hard to say. It may not be anything. So far, nothing. Keep going. Here's a good sign. An old can. This is very old. You can tell I used an old can opener to open this thing. Where there's one piece of tracks, there's more. And when there's trash, there's people. When there's people, there's artifacts or interesting things to see. And that's what we're looking for. So we'll keep on going. Oh my gosh. Is this the spring? There's something here. Do you see it? So here's a pathway right down here. And it looks like somebody may have built a house here. Or a cabin. I'm not sure how old it is. Somebody, when they put these wood here, they may have started to build some sort of a structure. Here's a campfire. I see bottles in here. Why do people have to throw bottles in campfires and break bottles? I mean, seriously. Some bones. There's a bone here. There's a bone over here. Is it animal? And then more bones. Bone here, here, here. Probably animal, whatever it is, been out here for a very long time. Now, if I did bring the metal detector, this would probably be a good place to bring it. Because there's evidence of an old ancient campsite or people or civilization or something. And I don't see a whole lot of metal, if any at all. Just walking around to see if there's anything else. I don't see anything. But it's weird, that structure is kind of under some trees, so I wouldn't have seen it on Google Earth. Looks like maybe someone's going to build a cabin there or something, I don't know. Just kind of looking around in the immediate vicinity. If anything else, I'm not seeing anything so far. Are you? Let's do a quick scan. Mention the comments if you see anything. I don't. It just looks like this one spot here. So I'll take some pictures of it and we'll go from there. Just taking a quick look. I'm not seeing anything else here. It would be a hoot if somebody buried some treasure or some valuables out here somewhere, but I'm not seeing any evidence of anything buried. Hard to say. Just a very small structure, barely big enough to sleep in. So yeah, somebody, and you know, somebody could have been out here camping and just messing around and built this, I don't know. Or it could be hundreds of years old, you never know. At any rate, there was a structure, campfire, and over here they made kind of a pathway. And the spring should be up here somewhere, but let's follow this pathway and see if there's anything else out here. It's kind of weird. Just go to show you never know what you're going to find on these hikes. You just never know. Here we are in the most remote part of the mountains, and here we find some strange evidence of civilization, of people, of intelligent life building something. Well, I don't know if I call them intelligent if they're breaking bottles out here, but still. That spring should be up here just a ways. Let's continue on. Oh, it's a brisk, beautiful day today. No clouds in the sky. It's cool, probably upper 60s, and it is an ideal day to hike. Absolutely perfect. In this valley, there's little or no wind. Just taking my time, walking slow, seeing if I can find anything interesting. So far, nothing. We should be getting close to spring. It should be around here somewhere. All right, believe it or not, I show the spring up on the hillside there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna continue on a little bit further, see what's up around this bend, double back, go up on this hillside and see if there's a spring up there. Most springs are on ground level that I've seen, but it's entirely possible there's something up there. So, you know, we'll check it out on the way back. But for now, I'm going to keep going as far as I can. See if there's any signs of life or civilization or people been out here, anything unusual. And at least go to that bend up there and see what's around the corner. Ah, here's something. Metal tin. Okay. If no human being has ever been any further than this, there shouldn't be a tin here. So this is a sign that there could be something further up here, which is what we're going to be checking out. So that is a good sign. I'm not seeing a whole lot of trash, but things like that. It could be a cabin, it could be a mine, it could be anything. We'll just keep our eyes open for any sort of artifacts. So I don't want to turn back yet until we thoroughly explore this place. The Holy Grail would be a stock cabin untouched for over 100 years. Unknown and untouched. With artifacts in there. But things like that are very few and far between. I'm not the only one that gets on Google Earth exploring. Other people do as well, so it just depends on your thirst for adventure and your will and your dedication. How far you're willing to drive, how far you're willing to hike, how much you're willing to research to find something really cool. Keep my eyes on that wash for any sort of debris that may have washed down. Anything off in the distance? So far, nothing. Some of these flat rocks can be mistaken for cabin or objects. So you gotta just, when you're on Google Earth, just kind of, sometimes hard to differentiate. It's kind of a cool plateau up there. I think I'm gonna climb up to it and get a better vantage point, instead of just staying in this valley where I can't see off in a distance. It would be a good place for an encampment up there. So that's what I'm gonna do. I navigate these valleys, that's where we find the artifacts. They get washed down, but I'm not seeing any more. They're few and far between. Just need to get some elevation and better view on the terrain. Okay. These Garmin boots I have on are fantastic, but you can still lose your balance. So you gotta be careful and not fall on the cactus like this. All right, clearly something's been climbing this. I'm guessing not goat, but bighorn sheep or donkey or something. It's hard to say, something with narrow hooves. But it could be a person too. It's hard to say. Definite footprints of someone or something climbing up here. There's definitely something up there. I want to come a little bit further, see if there's anything up there. If not, we're going to come back and hike up there and see what that is. But there's definitely some man-made material up there. Cactus, I gotta keep my eyes open, watch where I'm going. Oh my gosh. Okay. Making progress. Waterline is just over there. Oh my gosh. Let's keep going. Okay. Dodging cactus. Okay. I'm seeing pieces of wood right here. Not branches, but wood. Which leads me to believe there could be something else up here somewhere on this hillside. that's no tree branch. That's a very old piece of wood. There's more there. More there. Something's out here. Something's out here. What? Another piece of wood. Building material, but for what? What's on this hillside? Okay. Strange white rocks. Another piece of wood there. Water line going up the hill. I'm gonna come down here first, check out this area, then I'm gonna come back up to check out this water line, see if there's anything up there, farther up. Could be a line up there. I want to see what's over here first on this cliff. I'm gonna check over here. I did spot a trough or something back there. That could be the spring. Here's an old can. That's a promising sign. There's something else up here. Kind of a plateau area. I'm not seeing anything yet, but I'll follow this water line. It seems to be going up the hill there. Just looking at any evidence of old mines or anything. Structures. Like I said, there's some piece of wood laying around, so somebody brought this out for a reason. And that water line goes somewhere. Hard to say. There could even be a tailings pile up there. I don't know. We'll check it out. But first I want to check out this cliff area without tripping and dodging cactus. I've got 12:15. It's a great time for lunch, but I'm not going to stop yet. I'm not really hungry yet. Looks like some piece of metal. There's a metal can right there. Come up here. Watch this cactus. I don't want to lose my balance or anything. The camera's tethered. I'm not. So which one am I getting too close to the edge? It looks like I'm right on the edge, but I'm not. Now that right over there, that ledge, that'd be kind of a cool place for a picture if you're daring. I'm not daring. I'm gonna play it safe. But, you can see the whole valley here. And I'm not seeing anything else unusual so far. Nothing really. Okay. Head back this way. And all right, there's the water line. It's got to lead somewhere. Is there something I'm not seeing? I can't tell. It looks like some material coming down the hill. That's either part of a landslide or tailings pile. I'm guessing landslide. I don't see any evidence of a mine up there, so I don't want to hike up there. But that water line is something, so we'll go check that out. She was just kind of stomping around here, which they could have been. See anything in this little enclave here? Yeah. A lizard, for one. Black piece of pipe. I don't know why it's there. It's not the spring here. The spring is warm here. It feels significantly warmer here, probably just because there's no wind. Very warm here. Strange. All these pipes are no doubt related to the spring up here, and probably to feed some of the animals. These guzzlers and springs are very important to the wildlife here. So you see a lot of this overgrown brush. It's dead right now, but this brush grows because there's a lot of moisture here. And here, my friends, is the spring. It's like a water guzzler, a wildlife guzzler. This is where the bighorn sheep come and drink. And And there's a game cam right there. Looks like I'm on Candid Camera. How's it going? All right, I'm gonna get out of range of that game cam because I just don't like to be on somebody else's camera. I know who puts these game cams up. It's the State of Nevada Department of Natural Resources. They're responsible for these wildlife guzzlers and springs, and they put these cameras up to monitor wildlife and everything. So that's one of them right there. I don't know if it's video, probably just still pictures, but at any rate, you see that black tube leading up the hill? I'm guessing the spring is further up the hill, and it leads to this trough right there, and that's how the animals get a drink. So what we're gonna do is try and follow the tube and find the source of the spring, which may be nothing more than nothing, because some of these springs are underground. They kind of drill down and a little bit and get to them and put some way to collect the water. But yeah, I guess somebody put this line here, rocks on it every now and then, just kind of weight it down. And again, I'm fairly certain I know who did it. And if you're watching, you know who you are. Here's a metal pipe. I'm guessing this came from the spring at one point in time, going down the hill. But this long metal tube, I see a metal tub or something in there. That might be the spring. I mean, wonder, how do you get all this material up here? Some of this heavy tubs and tubes and everything, airlifted in. State of Nevada airlifts the material in, and people either airlift it here or hike out here to build it. Another tube coming down the hill to this. This is probably one of the collection points for animals. But this one is empty. The other one is full. All right. Here's, looks like it may have been a post in the ground at one point in time. I'm not seeing anything else around here. Yeah, the spring could be underground somewhere around here. Anytime you see a lot of brush, there's a source of water, and that could be what's going on. I'm not seeing any structures. Nothing at all. Keep walking around, see what else we find. I'm gonna get on that game cam over there. Something unusual here. Looks like somebody put a funnel here. I wonder why there's a funnel. Oh, it's some sort of maybe insect trap, I guess. I don't know. Comment below if you know what this is. I'm guessing some sort of makeshift insect trap for monitoring whatever. I don't know. There's the game cam down there. It's taking pictures of whatever animals are getting a drink, so they can monitor wildlife in these mountains. I mean, I could hike up there, see if there's anything further up, but I'm not seeing any evidence of that. A few makeshift cans and some trash around, but nothing really leads me to believe there's anything else. This hillside here, there's a truck way down there. Long ways away. Alright, trying to find my way down the hill. I didn't see anything else interesting. Continuing our descent down this hill back towards the truck, I'm seeing more pipes here. Old water lines, metal ones, some rusted ones too, no doubt to carry the water from the spring up there down here, but I didn't see any civilization down there. Some more rusty pipes coming down the hill. Had these metal pipes bringing water down from that spring to something down here. A settlement or something. Whatever it is may not exist anymore. Hard to say. Here's something unusual. I'm trying to shield from the wind noise. Here's some concrete, and it looks like there was a post in here at one point in time, so I'm not sure what this was for. If there was a structure here or if it was something going all the way up the hill. We're almost at the bottom, but it's just weird to see this this concreted post in there in the middle of nowhere with nothing else around. That's why I'm kind of just looking around, keep my eyes peeled for anything else. On the clock, 1.22 miles, but for some strange reason the clock stopped and continued a couple times after. I'm not sure what's going on with that. Some more building material here. Pieces of wood. Here's some more wood, I'm guessing firewood somebody brought out here. Maybe that's what this is supposed to be for, people camping. Over here there's an old can. Another old can. So it's hard to say what's out here, but I'm gonna prepare some lunch. Look at the map and see if there's anything else in the area. Otherwise, if not, we'll begin the long journey back. It's about a 2-hour drive back to civilization. All right, beef stroganoff and noodles. I love this stuff because it will literally outlive me. It keeps that long. It's lightweight, easy to pack, and it provides a fairly decent meal. I'll probably bring this piece of wood over here to make a little makeshift table and campsite right here next to the truck and have my lunch. All right, we finished lunch, beef stroganoff. Hit the spot, I was actually kind of hungry. Had a full bottle of water too, so I feel much better. We're gonna begin the long trek out of here. Should be about 2 hours or so to get to the main Corn Creek Visitor Center. If I spot anything interesting along the way, I'll certainly stop and take a look, but otherwise, we're heading out. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the videos, please subscribe to the channel and you'll be notified when I post a new one. All of my videos are unscripted as they happen. I can't promise they'll be exciting, but I can promise they'll be 100% real. My name is Steve from Las Vegas, and these are my adventures.